Today I'm going to talk to you about my spiritual divination cards and archetypal essences. I developed these flower essences based on the 22 cards of the Tarot's Major Arcana and produced the cards to help us choose which of those essences we need at any one time. Each of those cards represents 22 archetypes that we all come across in our lives in some form or another. Archetypes are myths, stories that didn't really happen, but they represent significant situations or events in our that help us to decide our pathways in life, really. They're sort of like indicators along the way. We come across them in dreams, meditations, and sometimes when we're wide awake with events around us. I'm going to run through the cards and I'll show you them individually so that you can see them. You can get the essences and the cards on my website, details below. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can see more videos about flower essences. The first archetype is the Magician, and he is represented by the tassel hyacinth, and he is the matrix of the mind. The Magician is at the beginning of the deck, and he is a very significant archetype because he represents the conscious mind, or our will or ego. The Magician teaches us that we have access to divine power and we can co-create our own reality. This is something many of us have lost sight of. He symbolises the inception of ideas and creative thought. But we must maintain our spiritual equilibrium and guard against allowing our egos to take over. It's very easy with all this divine power we have access to become overconfident and start to believe that we are more important than others. We can start to impose our will over everything and everyone. The essence, tassel hyacinth, supports us in keeping our egos in check. It connects us to the spirit world and to gain that divine inspiration. And it helps us to set off on the right foot, really, on our path. The second card is the High Priestess. She's represented by the violet salvia, and she potentates the mind. She's also a very significant archetype and represents the subconscious mind, our intuition, our deeper knowledge, and she also supports us with our sixth senses. She stands for stability and strength and is the keeper of secret knowledge. She reminds us we need to go within to find our inner knowledge that we all have access to, and inspirational ideas that come from inside us. The essence, violet salvia, opens our eyes to all aspects of us, helps us to support and direct our thoughts to our higher selves and our spirituality. The third archetype is the Empress, and she's represented by the flower quince and is the catalyst. She is the catalyst of the mind. The Empress is the archetypal mother figure, and she's about fertility of life, children, motherhood. She exudes caring and loving energy, and she's very practical. She gets things done. Whereas the Magician it brought about the inception of ideas, the High Priestess turned them into inspirational ideas. The Empress puts those ideas into action. Her role as the archetypal female figure applies to us all. We all possess masculine and feminine sides. She helps to awaken the feminine side in us, which often gets overlooked in men. Her fertility includes a close bond with nature, growing things and enjoying the beauty of our surroundings. She is the personification of Mother Earth and reminds us that every living thing has divine energy and a vibration that will lift our spirits and fulfill us with universal energy and love. The quince essence is all about creating a new image, implementing new ideas, and about starting anew and afresh. It can help us bring forth new life, new beginnings, and new ventures. The fourth archetype is the Emperor, and he's represented by the crabapple and is the experience of the mind. The Emperor is the counterpart of the Empress and is, as such, is the father figure archetype. And like all fathers, they can be strong, protective, loving and caring, but they can also be strict disciplinarians, controlling and powerful. He can be a wise leader or a despot. We all need a bit of security, discipline and order in our lives and to stay on track. But we need to keep this side of our natures in balance with the feminine side. The Emperor helps to connect us with the laws of the universe, to the divine or spiritual laws. We need to understand what is right or wrong. We should always work within these divine principles. It is nature for man to want to lead, and as an understanding of divine universal law and wisdom, he or she can make a good leader. The essence, crabapple, is about the final piercing of the web of illusion. It's about father figure issues, problems with authority, really. And it helps us to address these challenges, especially from our childhood. The essence also helps us to understand how we are as a father or as a parent, and how we relate to our children and others. The next card is the Herophant or Pope. He's represented by the peach tree and is the significator of the mind. The Herophant or Pope is a spiritual leader. He is the leader of a flock or a group of people. He opens the way for you to know yourself, to understand who you are on a soul level. He is a guide, really, and he helps to point you in the right direction so that you can understand the Creator. He helps you to understand your fears and ties to the materialistic world. His power comes from traditional values like mercy, goodness, inspiration and alliances. But like all spiritual leaders, they can end up believing that they are more important than they are and expect the people to worship them. They can lose sight of what they're supposed to be doing, being a guide and to helping others converse with the Creator directly themselves. The essence, peach tree, is about finding one's own connection to spirit or the Creator, rather than relying on a mediator. It helps you to seek your own path and it lights your own spiritual way. The sixth archetype is the Lovers, and that's represented by common fumetry and is the transformation of the mind. The Lovers is an archetype about choice. It is often referred to as the two paths. This archetype represents a crossroads in your life. It's about choosing the path you're going to take. It is always about major events, situations, life-changing decisions in your life. The lesson here is always to follow your passion, your heart, your devotion. Avoid the temptation to be swayed by your love of materialistic or convenient agendas. To follow joy in your heart is to follow the creation and the Creator. When you dig deeper, the choices can often come down to good and evil in the final balance. Think carefully, seek spiritual guidance and choose with integrity and high morals, and it will always prove to be the right choice. And never go against your inner voice. The essence, common fumetry, helps us to make the right choices that will lead us to our true self, our higher self. It helps you to follow your passions in life. The Chariot is the last of the first 7 archetypes that are all related to the mind. The Chariot is represented by the olive tree and is the great way of the mind. The Chariot archetype is about bringing together opposing forces to enable us to drive forwards. In spiritual terms, this archetype is about understanding ourselves, or know thyself. Knowing your light and dark sides, your positive and negative sides, and accepting them for what they are and allowing them to become part of us as a whole being. Only when you can do that are you truly able to move forwards and come to an understanding or realization of the one creator power within you. It is our divine inheritance to be creative and explore the possibilities open to us. It is the purpose of our existence here on earth to work with our own particular skill sets and to use our opposing forces to contribute to the whole of the Creator's world. As flower essence, olive tree allows you to speak from the heart. It enables clear communication of your truth. It aids diplomacy, brings opposing ideas together, and projects a warm energy going forwards. So that was the first 7 archetypes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and you won't miss the next batches. Thanks very much for watching today. Bye for now.